If your wife has started acting like this, she's already cheated. What I'm about to tell you today, most women will never admit out loud, but these 6 attitudes, they give us away every single time. And if you're seeing at least 3 of them, brothers, you need to know the truth. The truth is, when we cheat, we think we're master manipulators. We think we can compartmentalize, that we can keep our secret lives separate from our home lives, but our bodies betray us. Our energy shifts, our priorities change, and if you know what to look for, it's as obvious as a neon sign flashing guilty. Before we dive in, hit that like button on this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment telling me what city you're watching from today. This information could save your heart from being shattered into pieces because what I'm about to share isn't just theory. This is real-world psychology. This is female behavior decoded. And once you see these patterns, you can't unsee them. See, here's what most men don't understand about female psychology. When a woman cheats, it's not just a physical act. It's an emotional earthquake that shifts everything about how she operates. Her priorities change, her energy changes, her entire relationship with reality changes. And these changes, they're visible if you know what to look for. The problem is, most men are too close to the situation to see clearly. You're busy loving her, trusting her, making excuses for her, but I'm going to give you the clarity you need, the uncomfortable, painful, necessary clarity. Because here's what women tell you. We're not as complex as we pretend to be. Our behavior patterns are predictable. Our tells are consistent, and once you understand the psychology behind why we do what we do after cheating, you'll never be left in the dark again. Attitude 1, her phone became her best friend. The first attitude shift, sudden phone obsession. Before she could leave it anywhere, now it's surgically attached to her hand, always face down, always within reach. Men, you know what I'm talking about. That moment when she takes her phone with her, even to the bathroom. When she steps into another room to answer texts. When she says, "It's work or just my girlfriend." But the energy feels different, nervous, secretive, protective. Here's what's really happening psychologically. When a woman cheats, her phone becomes a portal to her secret life. And she guards that portal like it contains state secrets. Because in her mind, it does. Think about it. Every notification could be him. Every buzz could be the excitement she's no longer getting from you. Every message is a hit of dopamine from her new reality. And she knows that if you ever saw those conversations, her world would explode. So she develops phone behaviors that would make CIA agents proud. Face down on the table, never leaving it unattended, taking it to the shower, sleeping with it under her pillow. These aren't the actions of an innocent woman. These are the actions of someone who's living a double life. But here's something most men don't realize. This phone obsession isn't just about hiding conversations. It's about maintaining her emotional connection to him throughout the day. She's not just protecting evidence. She's protecting her lifeline to the excitement that's missing from your relationship. Watch her face when she gets a text. Does it light up? Does she smile before even reading it? That's not a work message, brother. That's not her girlfriend. That's the person who's making her feel alive in ways you apparently no longer can. But trust your gut, men. When a woman's relationship with her phone changes dramatically, her relationship with honesty has already changed too. And once that trust is broken, the phone becomes both her weapon and her prison, giving her access to her affair while making her paranoid about discovery. And the more protective she becomes over that device, the more you need to pay attention to the silence that fills the room when you walk in. The way she quickly locks the screen, the way she angles the phone away from your line of sight, the way she suddenly becomes defensive when you ask who she was talking to. These are not coincidences. These are the actions of a woman who has something to hide. She may even start sleeping with her phone under her pillow or in her hand, something she never did before. She may take it with her when she gets up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, something that used to be a harmless, innocent habit, but now feels loaded with suspicion. And the worst part is, when you ask about it, she makes you feel like the crazy one, like you're paranoid and controlling. She gaslights you into doubting your own instincts, but your instincts are trying to protect you. They are telling you something is wrong. And the reason they are telling you something is wrong is because something is wrong. Women who have nothing to hide do not hide their phones. Women who are faithful do not guard their devices like fortresses. Women who respect their husbands do not create secret worlds in their smartphones and then act like you are the problem for noticing. So, when you see that phone become her best friend, when you see that digital fortress go up, when you see her smile at a screen in a way she hasn't smiled at you in months, do not ignore it. That phone is telling you a story she will never tell you herself. And that story is that you are no longer the only man in her life. Attitude 2, irritation from nowhere. The second attitude, she explodes at the simplest questions. How was your day? What's for dinner? What time will you be home? And she snaps like you just asked for her social security number. And you're standing there thinking, what did I do wrong? Nothing. You did absolutely nothing wrong, but her guilty conscience is working overtime. Every question from you feels like an interrogation. Every show of care feels like control. Every normal interaction feels like a threat to her secret world. Here's the female psychology behind this. When a woman is cheating, she's living in constant stress. She's managing two realities, two sets of emotions, two different versions of herself. And that mental load, it's exhausting. So any additional pressure, even innocent questions from you, feels like the last straw. But there's something deeper happening here. She's also starting to resent you, for being the good guy, for caring, for asking normal relationship questions. Because every time you show love or concern, it reminds her of what she's destroying. And that reminder makes her angry at herself, but she takes it out on you. It's also a defense mechanism. If she can make you the bad guy, controlling, nosy, suffocating, then she can justify her actions. He doesn't understand me. He's always checking up on me. I can't breathe in this relationship. See how that works? Your normal, loving behavior becomes ammunition for her betrayal story. Your care becomes control. Your love becomes a cage. And she convinces herself that stepping outside that cage is justified, even necessary. But here's what's really twisted about this attitude. She's training you to stop asking questions. Every explosive reaction teaches you to give her more space, ask fewer questions, demand less transparency. She's conditioning you to enable her betrayal by making honesty feel like an attack on her freedom. And the most devastating part, you start walking on eggshells in your own relationship. You begin censoring your natural care and concern because you don't want to trigger her. You become complicit in your own deception, tiptoeing around the very woman who should be grateful for your love. So when your wife starts treating basic relationship communication like it's an attack, understand you're not the problem. You're just in the way of her guilt-free cheating narrative, and she needs you to back off so she can continue betraying you in peace. The irritation isn't about you. It's about her inability to reconcile her actions with the person she pretends to be, and that internal conflict, that cognitive dissonance, it leaks out as hostility toward the person who is most likely to expose the truth. You become the symbol of her guilt, the reminder of her betrayal, the mirror reflecting the woman she no longer wants to see. And instead of facing that truth, she lashes out at you. She picks fights over nothing. She finds fault in everything you do. She criticizes your habits, your choices, your very existence. And you start to believe that maybe you are the problem. Maybe you have been too demanding. Maybe you have been controlling, but you haven't. You have just been asking for the basic respect and transparency that any committed relationship deserves, and she has been giving you anger instead of answers, defensiveness instead of honesty, irritation instead of intimacy. That anger is the alarm bell. That defensiveness is the confession. That irritation is the truth she will never speak. So when she explodes over nothing, when she treats your questions like attacks, when she makes you feel like you are walking on thin ice, do not apologize for being a good partner. Recognize that her anger is not about you. It is about her guilt. And guilt, unchecked, manifests as rage. Rage at the person who reminds her of who she used to be. Attitude 3, she's glowing, but not because of you. The third attitude is the most painful one. She looks happy, confident, attractive, radiant, but you can feel it in your bones. You're not the source of that glow. Men, have you felt this? When the woman next to you is blooming, but you know you're not the sunlight making her grow. New clothes, more time in front of the mirror. She's taking care of herself, investing in her appearance. But when you compliment her, there's this weird reaction like you just intruded on something private. Because she's not dressing for you anymore. And your attention now feels like an invasion into her secret, exciting new reality. Here's what's happening. Affair energy is intoxicating. It's new, forbidden, dangerous. It makes women feel alive in ways they forgot were possible. That rush of secrecy, the thrill of being desired by someone new, the excitement of stolen moments, it creates a natural high. And that high, it shows. She walks differently, talks differently, carries herself with a confidence that seems to come from nowhere. But it's not from nowhere. It's from him. The cruelest part is watching the woman you love transform into her most beautiful, confident self. Knowing another man is the catalyst. She's becoming the woman you fell in love with again, just not for you. She might suddenly become more adventurous, trying new styles, surprising you with unfamiliar energy. For a moment, it feels like the spark is back, but something about it feels rehearsed. Like she's drawing from an experience you weren't part of. It's why some men describe those nights as both exciting and strangely distant. The person beside you looks the same, but the connection feels altered. Her presence is there, yet her thoughts, her emotions, her fire seem to be reaching somewhere else entirely. But here's the psychological twist that will break your heart. She's not glowing because she's happy the affair. She's glowing because she's finally feeling desired again. The attention, the pursuit, the feeling of being wanted, it's like a drug. And you, the faithful husband, have become familiar, predictable, safe. And safety to a woman in an affair mindset feels like death. She craves the chaos, the uncertainty, the emotional roller coaster that comes with forbidden love. Your steady, consistent love can't compete with the adrenaline rush of sneaking around. So when you see that glow, remember it's not about him being better than you. It's about him being different. It's about him being dangerous. It's about him representing everything her comfortable life with you isn't. And tragically, that comfort you've provided, that security, that stability has become the very thing driving her away. She may even start dressing differently at home, wearing things she never wore before, trying new hairstyles, changing her makeup routine. And if you notice, she might dismiss it as just wanting a change, wanting to feel good about herself. But the timing is too coincidental. The effort is too directed. She is not dressing for herself. She is dressing for him. She is not glowing for herself. She is glowing for him. And every time you see that glow, every time you catch that sparkle in her eye that you didn't put there, you are seeing evidence of her betrayal written across her face. She thinks she is hiding it well. She thinks her newfound confidence is a sign of personal growth. But it is not growth. It is betrayal. It is the result of stolen moments and secret kisses and whispered promises she made to another man. And the saddest part is, she may not even realize it herself. She may genuinely believe she is just happy, just feeling good about herself, just going through a positive phase. But you know better. You know because you have been there through her lows, through her struggles, through her insecurities. And now, suddenly, without any change in your relationship, without any effort from you, she is radiant. That radiance did not come from nowhere. It came from someone else, and that is the truth she will never tell you. Attitude 4, the ghost in your bed. Fourth attitude, physical intimacy without emotional connection. She might even become more active in bed, but you feel like you're making love to a ghost. Her body is there, but her mind is somewhere else. She goes through the motions, maybe even with more enthusiasm, but the connection, that deeper emotional connection that used to be there, is gone. It's like touching a mannequin. She might experiment with new things, things she never wanted to try before, things she used to say she wasn't interested in. And at first, you might be excited. You might think she is finally opening up, finally exploring her sexuality with you. But there is a coldness underneath the experimentation. There is a distance behind the enthusiasm because she is not exploring with you. She is bringing techniques and energy she learned with him. She is reliving moments with him while pretending to be present with you. And that's the cruelest part of this attitude. She's using you as a stand-in for the person she really wants. She's closing her eyes and imagining someone else, and you can feel it. You can feel it in the way she doesn't look at you. You can feel it in the way she rushes through intimacy. You can feel it in the way she seems relieved when it's over. But she may also become more distant sexually, withdrawing entirely, claiming headaches, tiredness, stress. She may create a wall of excuses that keeps you at arm's length. And when you try to initiate, she recoils, not with disgust, but with guilt. Because being intimate with you means being intimate with the lie she is living, and she can't handle that. So she either avoids it altogether or goes through the motions in a way that feels mechanical, hollow, and empty. Here's the psychology of this shift. Sex with you, the faithful husband, becomes a reminder of her betrayal. It's hard for her to look at you, to touch you, to be vulnerable with you, because she knows what she's doing behind your back. So she disconnects. She separates the physical act from the emotional intimacy. She treats sex like a chore, like an obligation, like something she has to get through to maintain the illusion of a normal marriage. And eventually, that disconnect becomes permanent. She stops seeing you as a lover and starts seeing you as a roommate, a provider, a convenient cover for her secret life. And you, feeling this distance, might try harder. You might buy her gifts, take her on dates, try to reignite the spark. But nothing works because the spark is not with you anymore. It is with him. And every time you try to reconnect, every time you try to bring back the intimacy you once shared, she pulls further away. She grows more distant. She grows more resentful. She grows more checked out because you are not the person she wants to be intimate with. You are the person she is hiding from. And that hiding is exhausting. It is draining. It is killing your marriage one day at a time. But you won't stop because she can't stop. The affair has become her escape, her secret rebellion, her way of feeling alive in a life that feels dead. And you, the faithful husband, have become the reminder of everything she is trying to escape. So she disconnects from you. She disconnects from the marriage. She disconnects from the life you built together. And she pours her energy, her attention, her passion into someone else. And you are left with the ghost, the shell, the shadow of the woman you married. You are left wondering what you did wrong, what you could have done differently, how you let her slip through your fingers. But you didn't let her slip. She chose to let go. She chose to disconnect. She chose to give herself to someone else, and that choice is hers alone. Attitude 5, she suddenly needs more space. She needs time for herself, nights out with the girls, weekend trips with friends she never mentioned before. She talks about needing to find herself, needing to breathe, needing to figure out what she wants. And at first, you support her. You want to be a good husband. You want to give her the space she says she needs. But then the space grows. The time away from you increases. The excuses for being gone become more frequent and more creative. And eventually, you realize you are the one being pushed away. You are the one being treated like an inconvenience. You are the one being kept at a distance while she creates a life that no longer includes you. Here's the psychology behind this. When a woman is cheating, she needs distance from you. She needs to separate her home life from her secret life. She needs to compartmentalize. And the best way to do that is to create actual physical space between you. She may even start staying later at work, taking longer to come home, going out more with friends. And when you express concern, she accuses you of being controlling or jealous. She turns your legitimate concern into a character flaw. She makes you feel guilty for wanting to spend time with your own wife. And you start to believe that maybe you are too needy. Maybe you are too dependent. Maybe you do need to give her more space. But you are not the problem. She is. She is the one who is pulling away. She is the one who is creating distance. She is the one who is building a life that no longer includes you. And the reason she needs that space is because being around you makes it harder to maintain the lie. When she is with you, she has to act. She has to pretend. She has to be someone she no longer is. And that is exhausting. So she needs breaks. She needs time away from you to recharge, to reconnect with the other version of herself, to remember why she is doing what she is doing. And eventually, those breaks become permanent. She starts building a life with him, even if it's just in her mind. She starts prioritizing him, imagining a future with him, planning her escape from you. And you become an obstacle, a complication, a thing she has to manage. And the more she manages you, the more she resents you. The more she resents you, the more she needs space. And the more space she needs, the more you feel her slipping away. It is a vicious cycle, a downward spiral that ends in only one place: divorce, heartbreak, betrayal. And you are left wondering how you got there, what you missed, what you could have done differently. But you missed nothing. You did nothing wrong. She just stopped loving you. She just stopped choosing you. She just stopped being the person you married. And there is nothing you could have done to change that, because her decision was never about you. It was about her unhappiness, her emptiness, her need for something new and exciting. And you, the faithful husband, were just the collateral damage. Attitude 6, she rewrites history. The 6th attitude is the most heartbreaking of them all. She starts rewriting your past. She starts telling herself and others that your relationship was never that good, that you were never that happy, that she has been unhappy for years, maybe even since the beginning. She rewrites your history to justify her present. Because in her mind, she cannot be the bad guy. She cannot be the woman who cheated. She cannot be the woman who destroyed her marriage. So she rewrites the story. She tells herself that you were emotionally unavailable. She tells herself that you were neglectful. She tells herself that you never really loved her. And over time, she starts to believe it. She starts to believe her own lies. She starts to see you as the villain in her story, so she can feel like the hero. And that is the cruelest manipulation of all, because she is not just rewriting history to others. She is rewriting history to herself. She is gaslighting herself. She is convincing herself that the affair was justified, that you deserved it, that she had no choice. And in doing so, she absolves herself of guilt. She frees herself from the weight of her betrayal. She makes herself the victim so she can continue being the perpetrator. But you, the faithful husband, are left reeling. You are left questioning your own reality. You are left wondering if you really were that bad, if you really were that neglectful, if you really did drive her into someone else's arms. And that is exactly what she wants. She wants you to doubt yourself, because if you doubt yourself, you will stop fighting. You will stop questioning her. You will start accepting the blame, and she can move on without guilt. She can move on without responsibility. She can move on without ever having to face what she did. But you deserve better than that. You deserve the truth. You deserve a wife who is honest with you. You deserve a marriage built on trust. And if she has already started rewriting your history, if she has already started casting you as the villain in her story, then she is already gone. She has already checked out. She has already decided that you are no longer the person she wants to be with. And no amount of love, no amount of effort, no amount of begging or pleading will bring her back, because she is not confused. She has made her choice. Her choice was him. And everything else is just window dressing, just excuses, just lies she tells herself to sleep at night. And that is the truth you need to hear. That is the truth most men never want to face. But once you face it, once you accept it, you can begin to heal. You can begin to move on. You can begin to build a new life for yourself. A life that does not include a woman who was never really yours. Because the truth is, a woman who truly loves you would never do these things. She would never hide her phone. She would never explode at your questions. She would never glow for someone else. She would never make love to you like a ghost. She would never need space from you. And she would never rewrite your history to justify her betrayal. A woman who truly loves you protects your heart. She does not break it. A woman who truly values you honors your trust. She does not betray it. A woman who truly wants to be with you chooses you every single day without reservation. And if she is not choosing you, if she is doing these 6 things, then she has already made her choice. She has already cheated. Whether physically or emotionally, she has already left you. She just hasn't told you yet. So, men, listen to these signs. Trust your instincts. Do not ignore the red flags. Do not make excuses for her behavior. Do not blame yourself for her choices, because the only person responsible for her betrayal is her. And the only person responsible for your healing is you. Walk away. Protect your heart. Guard your peace. And remember that you deserve a woman who will never make you question her love, her loyalty, or her integrity. Because that is what real love looks like. That is what real commitment feels like. And that is what you deserve, without question, without doubt, without compromise.